Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with the fourth video in the Wreck It Wednesday series. And today I'm working on a 9x12 that is a photo of Patrick and I at Tunnel State Park in Virginia. And we're actually on the 9x12 side, we're on the top of Lover's Leap. And I have the matching pocket page next to me here because I want to make sure that the papers that I choose match this other side perfectly. And so I decided to go with the green, and then what I did with that diamond paper was cut out all of the colors that didn't match what I wanted, and it left this really cool diamond pattern. And luckily in the photos I'm wearing gray, so it worked out perfectly between the tone of the photos and the gray shirt. This really light, pretty sage green paper and the gray paper I chose worked beautifully. So I have this bag. I bought a couple of souvenirs for my kids while I was there. So I have this bag that I'm going to incorporate into the layout, and I just trimmed off the bottom because I didn't need all that excess space. It doesn't need to be a bag anymore. So I just trimmed off the bottom so that I would have more room. I have that sticker that I bought as well, and I decided that it didn't go on this side of the spread, so I'm going to incorporate it on the pocket side in the next video. So I'm testing out all of these adorable pockets, and none of them, they're all just too big for what I wanted. This one matches kind of nicely, but it's just too big, especially with that big old paper bag there. I couldn't make it work, but I will come back to other pockets and make those work later. I have this gray word art I'm trying to incorporate. I'm just kind of feeling my way around here, seeing what I can make happen. I want to use some more of these adventure-y sort of word arts, so I'm trying to incorporate those. I'm actually going to use this paper bag as a pocket in some ways, so I am tucking some things in here and there, and I'm actually going to really incorporate it as a pocket here in a minute, at the bottom specifically. So I liked that gray little vine. I'm really loving incorporating the gray. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for right now. And luckily I had so many things that matched wonderfully. Feeling like I need a title, even though that paper bag is a big title. I feel like I need it anyway. Something to make the layout make a little bit more sense, give it some context. I keep trying to incorporate this vellum, but it never does make it on anything. Alright, so I'm going to start gluing things down as clusters to start with. I like the offset, off-kilter sort of feel of things. I don't always tilt things, but when I do, I always love it, so I need to do it more often. I think I especially love it when I am incorporating ephemera like this. I like the feel of like you just have like a stack of ephemera that fell on the table, I think. Okay, so here's the base of what I'm going to work with. I want to incorporate some of these flowers too, just a little pop of pink because there's some pinkish gray tones in the background that I chose. Need to figure out where I'm going to add in my journaling as well. Really wanted to add this feather, but I was struggling a little bit with it. I know it's a little bit morbid, but there was something about Lover's Leap and feathers that just made sense to me. So that's kind of what I'm concentrating on right now. I always try to incorporate that offline because often the places that we go, there's no service, and there was none here, I don't think, so it's kind of fun to incorporate that offline, but I don't think it goes on this page. So I decided to pull out this wooden thickers alphabet for the title, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spell out Lover's Leap, but I start down here at the bottom and I don't like that. So I decided to instead frame the photo in sort of an arch. So I'm going to put lovers at the top. I'm going to arch it in a second. I'm going to put leap down here at the bottom. And I like how it kind of frames everything. It doesn't really detract from the bag or like conflict with the bag, even though the logo on the bag is so prominent. I felt like it still worked. Like they didn't conflict with each other. So this site that we were at, there's a lot of you know, high cliffs throughout the country, and I'm sure throughout the world, with their own sort of lovers leap stories, but this one is supposedly the origin story of that and the Cherokee mythos, so that was kind of fun. I found the pocket that I'm going to incorporate into this layout, and it's going to be this green one, and I'm going to actually tuck it in underneath this bag, and I'm going to leave it like it is, and I'm going to actually grab a label, and it's just going to kind of act as a layering piece rather than an active pocket. I don't especially love including interactive pieces in 9x12 layouts because I don't like the idea of taking them out of the page protector to interact with them. So it's going to give that sort of interactive feel without actually interacting. That makes sense. And this is the initial journaling card I think I'm going to go with, but it's off-white, and I normally don't care, but it really bugged me with this layout. So instead I'm going to go with this tag. And I'm going to trim it down so that it's not too big. And this is where I'm going to add my journaling. And then actually, when I initially add my journaling on here, I have to go back and start over because when I add my journaling initially, I go with the arc of the tag instead of the bottom of the bag, and it just looks weird. So just I go with the arc of the bag instead of the tag. That's what I meant. So like my journaling sort of goes from the bottom left to the top right across the tag, and it wasn't like in line with the actual orientation of the tag, and so it looked weird and I didn't like it, so I started over. Just something to keep in mind. I felt like this layout needed a little bit of black at the bottom, especially since I was going to be incorporating that black sticker into the other side. I knew it was going to be a little bit black heavy, so I wanted to make sure that I incorporated some of the black in on this side as well. And I thought the numbers worked like as a sort of an allusion to measuring height and distance and all of that. This is a very morbid, lovely layout. Very morbid and lovely, which I guess makes sense because I recorded it around Halloween, so it works. Trying to figure out what else I want to add in this space. I decided to arc the title a little bit differently to fill it a little bit. Not too much, but just something so that there wasn't that weird awkward space there. I really like how the diamond cut on that background paper really adds to the design, and also we were on top of a mountain, and so it's kind of evocative of mountains as well. It was just all around kind of a cool effect. And not something that I planned, it was just something that came together. And it might be because, I don't know, like I think about designing and design principles subconsciously like every moment of every day because that's just my life, right? That's what I am. I'm an artist, I am a designer, I am constantly thinking about work and art. So I feel like some of these things I do subconsciously and then go back and say, oh, okay, that's what I was going for there. I realize that now, but I wasn't thinking about it consciously in the first place. But anyway, that is this layout all done. The next layout will be of the companion page. You can see how it all goes together. It's actually going to be a real-time process video because the next page came together really quick. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. My handle is @TraciMReed, and I would love to have you. All right, thank you.